All right, so get those taste buds ready because today um, we're diving deep into Bucelas Wines,
Ooh, nice.
a Portuguese region that's been crafting crisp, age-worthy whites since,
Mm,
well, way before it was cool.
I like it.
We've got excerpts from a document simply titled Bucelas.
Okay.
Someone's definitely passionate about this place
Yeah.
and a sommelier's take on the region.
Sounds good.
Get ready to uncover the secrets of Bucelas,
All right.
from its Roman roots to what makes these wines so special.
I am particularly excited to dig into the history of Bucelas.
Yeah.
It's not just about what's in the bottle, but also the centuries of tradition that have shaped these wines.
Exactly. Speaking of history, our Bucelas document dives right into the region's Roman and Arab influences.
Wow.
It's incredible to think about those ancient winemaking practices still echoing in the wines we taste today, isn't it?
It really speaks to that deep-rooted connection between wine and culture.
Mm.
And after the Reconquista, the church played a vital role in revitalizing Bucelas,
Yeah.
boosting both the quantity and quality of the wines produced.
It's fascinating how those historical shifts shaped the region's winemaking identity.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, Bucelas wines even became a favorite of the Portuguese monarchy,
Mm-hmm.
which is quite the endorsement.
Yeah, it's like a royal seal of approval,
Good.
a testament to the quality and prestige of Bucelas wines. But enough about the past, let's uncork the present.
Yes.
One of the things that really jumps out from both sources is the influence of the Atlantic Ocean on Bucelas.
Ah, yes, the Symphony of the Atlantic, as our sommelier puts it.
Yeah.
It's more than just a poetic description, though, right? It actually has a tangible impact on the wines themselves.
Absolutely. The Atlantic brings mild, humid air and ocean breezes that cool the vineyards, which is crucial for slow grape ripening.
Right.
This allows those complex aromas and that vibrant acidity, think crisp, refreshing whites, to truly develop.
So it's not just about sunshine, it's about finding that perfect balance between warmth and coolness. And speaking of balance, our sources also emphasize the importance of the soil in Bucelas. We're seeing a lot about clay limestone.
Right.
What's the significance of that for wine enthusiasts like ourselves?
Think of the soil as the foundation of the vineyard.
Okay.
Clay limestone is ideal for grape growing because it provides excellent drainage, no soggy roots here, while also retaining enough moisture to keep those vines happy.
Interesting.
But it's more than just practicality, it also imparts a distinctive minerality to the wines.
Minerality, that's one of those terms we wine lovers throw around.
Sure.
But what does it actually mean in terms of taste?
Well, it can manifest in a subtle saline quality, almost like a hint of sea salt or a flinty, stony character.
Okay.
It adds complexity and a sense of place to the wine, reflecting the unique terroir of Bucelas.
So it's like tasting the essence of the earth and the sea in every sip.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
But let's talk grapes.
Okay.
It's clear that Arinto is the undisputed star of the show in Bucelas.
Arinto is what really puts Bucelas on the map. It's the heart and soul of the region's white wines, known for its vibrant acidity, those zesty citrus and mineral notes,
Right.
and a remarkable ability to age gracefully.
Both sources emphasize the significance of Arinto's thick skin.
Yes.
Now, I know a thick skin might not sound glamorous, but why is it such a big deal in the wine world?
It's all about protection and preservation. That thick skin acts as a natural shield against disease, which is a huge win for grape growers. But more importantly, it helps preserve the grape's acidity,
Okay.
allowing those bright, refreshing qualities to shine through even after years of aging.
So it's like a built-in time capsule, locking in that freshness.
Right.
And speaking of aging, one of our sources even compares Arinto's aging potential to Riesling.
Oh, wow.
That's high praise in my book.
Absolutely. Just like Riesling, Arinto can evolve beautifully over time.
Yeah.
Those initial citrus notes can develop into richer honeyed tones, often with nutty nuances. And this might sound strange, even a touch of kerosene.
Kerosene. Now, that's a tasting note I haven't encountered before.
Yeah.
Is that something you actually want in your wine?
It might sound off-putting, but trust me, in the context of aged Arinto, it adds a fascinating layer of complexity.
Interesting.
It's a subtle note, often described as a slightly smoky or flinty aroma.
Okay.
Think of it as a sign of the wine's maturity and complexity.
Intriguing.
Yeah.
So it's not just about fruity flavors, it's about how those flavors evolve and intertwine as the wine ages.
Exactly.
I'm starting to see why Bucelas wines are considered such gems for collectors.
They truly are, but let's not forget Arinto might be the headliner.
Yeah.
But it's not a solo performance. There are other players in the Bucelas ensemble, each contributing their own unique notes to the final blend.
Right. We're seeing mentions of Alvarinho, a grape known for its peach and apricot flavors.
Yes.
That sounds like a delicious addition to the mix.
Alvarinho brings a lovely touch of exuberance and aromatic complexity to Bucelas blends.
Okay.
It can add a bit more body and roundness, complementing Arinto's vibrant acidity.
Think of it as the perfect harmony.
And I'm noticing Rabo de Ovelha and Serschel listed as well, though it seems like they play smaller roles.
Right.
What do they bring to the table?
They're like the supporting cast, adding subtle nuances and depth to the wines.
Okay.
Rabo de Ovelha can contribute floral and herbal notes,
Gotcha.
while Serschel, known for its dryness, can enhance the wine's structure.
So it's really about finding the perfect balance.
Yes.
The art of blending. It's fascinating how these different grape varieties work together to create something truly special.
It's like a chef carefully selecting ingredients to create a symphony of flavors. And it's worth noting that while Bucelas once had a presence of red grapes, it's now almost entirely dedicated to producing white wines.
So they've really embraced their strength, focusing on what they do best.
Exactly.
Okay, we've explored the history, the terroir, and the grapes. But how do these elements actually translate into the bottle? What can you tell us about the winemaking process in Bucelas? What's fascinating here is the interplay between tradition and innovation.
Okay.
You'll find winemakers who honor those centuries-old practices like fermenting in traditional cement vats, which adds a certain earthy character, while also embracing modern technology.
So it's about respecting the past, but not being afraid to embrace the future.
Exactly.
Our sources specifically highlight aging on the lees as a key step. For those of us who aren't winemakers, what exactly does that mean?
Aging on the lees, that's the sediment of yeast cells left over after fermentation, adds another layer of texture and complexity to the wines.
Okay.
It can contribute to a creamy mouthfeel and enhance those nutty, biscuity notes that develop over time.
It's like adding a touch of richness and depth to the final product.
Right.
So we've got these amazing grapes grown in ideal conditions, crafted with a blend of tradition and innovation. Now I'm dying to know, what does a glass of Bucelas actually taste like?
Well, we've covered a lot of ground in part 1 of our Bucelas deep dive. Before we move on to part 2, which will delve into the sensory experience of tasting these wines,
Okay.
why don't you and our listener grab a glass of something refreshing?
Yeah, sounds good.
It's time to put theory into practice.
I like it.
Welcome back to our Bucelas deep dive. Hopefully that sip is giving you a taste of the adventure to come.
Definitely. It's amazing how exploring a wine region can add a whole new layer of appreciation to every glass.
Yeah.
And speaking of exploring both of our sources, paint a pretty tempting picture of Bucelas as a destination.
Oh, yeah.
Think rolling hills, charming wineries, and vineyards steeped in history. Sounds like a dream trip for any wine enthusiast.
What's fascinating here is how Bucelas is really embracing a no-tourism.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot about that.
They're offering everything from classic vineyard tours and cellar tastings to more immersive experiences like harvest festivals and winemaking workshops.
So it's not just about passively tasting the wine.
Right.
It's about actively engaging with the culture and the process behind it. That personal connection can make all the difference.
Exactly. And it's a smart move for a region like Bucelas, which is still gaining recognition on the global stage. Enotourism helps build that direct connection between the producer and the consumer, forging a deeper understanding and appreciation for the wines.
It's like getting a glimpse behind the curtain, meeting the passionate individuals who dedicate their lives to crafting these wines.
Right.
Plus, you get to soak up that stunning scenery. Our sommelier source describes it as the Atlantic whispering secrets to the vines.
It's poetic.
Yeah.
But it also highlights that crucial connection to the Atlantic. Remember those cooling ocean breezes and the clay limestone soil we talked about earlier?
Right.
They all play a part in shaping the unique terroir that defines Bucelas wines.
It's like a giant puzzle with each element contributing to the final masterpiece. And speaking of masterpieces, let's dive back into the star of the show.
Okay.
The Arinto grape. Our sources are raving about its remarkable aging potential. It sounds like these wines are meant to be savored, not rushed.
What's fascinating about Arinto is its ability to transform over time.
Yeah.
Those youthful citrus and green apple notes gradually evolve into something richer, more nuanced. You might find honey, beeswax, even a touch of that intriguing kerosene note we discussed earlier.
Kerosene, really? I'm definitely curious to experience that evolution firsthand.
Yeah,
It sounds like aging in Arinto is like embarking on a sensory journey.
exactly. Each stage reveals new layers of aroma and taste, and those aged Arinto wines often develop an incredible texture,
Yeah.
a richness and complexity that you just don't find in younger vintages.
I'm starting to understand why Bucelas wines are so prized by collectors. It's not just about immediate gratification, it's about appreciating the wine's evolution over time.
And that aging potential is a key selling point,
Right.
particularly for those who seek wines that offer both complexity and value over time. It's like
Yeah.
investing in a piece of liquid history.
A history that's deeply intertwined with the traditions and expertise of Bucelas winemakers. They've mastered the art of balancing those time-honored methods with modern innovations.
And it's that delicate dance that sets Bucelas apart. They're not clinging solely to the past, but they're also not blindly chasing trends.
Right.
It's about finding that sweet spot where tradition and innovation coexist.
Our sources highlight some specific techniques used in Bucelas.
Oh, yeah.
Everything from fermentation in those traditional cement vats to aging on the lees, which adds texture and complexity, as you mentioned earlier.
Each step is deliberate, designed to showcase the essence of the Arinto grape while allowing it to express its full potential. It's a testament to the skill and passion of the winemakers.
It sounds like they have a deep respect for the craft and a genuine desire to create something exceptional.
Absolutely.
But let's face it, not every story is a fairy tale.
True.
What are some of the challenges that Bucelas is facing in today's wine world?
Well, like many wine regions around the globe, Bucelas is grappling with the increasingly tangible effects of climate change.
Yeah, I'm seeing mentions of rising temperatures and unpredictable weather patterns. How are those impacting the vineyards and the wines themselves?
It's a complex issue.
Right.
These shifts can affect everything from grape yields and sugar levels to the all-important acidity that defines Bucelas wines.
Yeah.
It's a delicate balance, and even slight changes can have significant consequences.
So it's not just about maintaining tradition, it's about adapting and innovating to ensure the future of these wines.
Yeah.
Are Bucelas winemakers up for the challenge?
What's encouraging is that there's a real sense of community and collaboration in Bucelas.
Okay.
Producers are sharing knowledge, experimenting with new techniques, and even exploring different grape varietals to see what thrives best in the evolving climate.
So it's a collective effort, everyone working together to protect the legacy of Bucelas wines. It's inspiring to see that level of dedication and resilience.
Absolutely. And they're also leveraging their strengths, the unique character of the Arinto grape, the focus on terroir-driven wines, and the growing appeal of no-tourism. It's a multifaceted approach to ensure Bucelas thrives for generations to come.
That's a powerful combination, honoring the past, adapting to the present, and shaping the future. It makes me even more excited to explore the wines of Bucelas and experience that story in every sip.
I completely agree. Bucelas is a testament to the enduring power of tradition, the innovative spirit of winemakers, and the undeniable allure of a region that whispers its story through every bottle.
Beautifully said. We've covered so much ground already, from ancient history to modern challenges. But now it's time for the main event. When we return for part 3, we'll be putting on our sommelier hats and diving into the sensory world of Bucelas wines.
Okay, sounds good.
Get those tasting glasses ready, because we're about to unlock the aromas, flavors, and textures that make these wines so unique. All right, fellow wine explorers, welcome back to our Bucelas journey. We've covered the history, the terroir, the grapes, and the winemaking. Now it's time to put all that knowledge to the test. Get your tasting glasses ready, because we're about to unlock the sensory secrets of Bucelas wines.
I'm particularly excited for this part. It's where theory meets experience. We can talk all day about what makes these wines special, but the ultimate judge is your own palate.
Exactly. So, let's break it down. What should we be looking for when we swirl, sniff, and finally sip a Bucelas wine? Our sources are full of those evocative tasting notes, but let's translate them into something we can actually experience.
First things first, take a moment to appreciate the visual beauty of the wine. For a young Arinto, you'll often see a luminous straw hue, almost like sunlit fields captured in the glass. As the wine ages, that color deepens, taking on richer golden tones like a honeyed sunset.
So the color itself tells a story, a visual timeline of the wine's journey. It's almost like appreciating a work of art.
Precisely. And then we move on to the aroma, what wine enthusiasts call the nose of the wine. This is where Bucelas truly shines.
Both sources describe those signature citrus notes as a hallmark of Bucelas lemon zest grapefruit, maybe even a touch of lime, all interwoven with a subtle green apple freshness. It's making my mouth water already.
Those are the primary aromas, driven by the Arinto grape itself. But there's a whole symphony of scents waiting to be discovered: delicate white flowers, a hint of wet stones, even a subtle saline whisper that evokes the nearby Atlantic.
It's incredible how you can almost taste the ocean air in the aroma. It really highlights that connection between the land, the sea, and the wine itself.
And as we discussed earlier, aging adds another dimension to the aromatic profile. Those initial citrus notes evolve, mingling with richer aromas of honey, beeswax, toasted almonds, and yes, even that intriguing hint of kerosene that we talked about earlier.
Okay, that kerosene note, I'm still a bit hesitant, but also incredibly curious to experience it firsthand. Is it a strong, overpowering aroma, or more of a subtle nuance?
It's definitely not something that hits you over the head. It's more of a background note, adding complexity and depth, a sign that the wine has gracefully matured over time. Think of it as a whisper of smokiness or flintiness, adding an unexpected twist to the overall aroma.
All right, challenge accepted. I'm officially intrigued, but now I'm eager to move on to the main event, the taste. What should we expect when we finally take that first sip of Bucelas?
This is where that vibrant acidity we've been talking about truly comes to life. It's the backbone of Bucelas wines, giving them that incredible freshness and lift that tingling sensation that makes you crave another sip.
So it's not just about the fruit flavors, it's about that structure, that backbone that makes the wine sing.
Exactly. And then those citrus flavors we experienced in the aroma reappear on the palate: lemon grapefruit, maybe even a touch of tangerine, along with green apple pear, and that persistent minerality that echoes the unique terroir of Bucelas.
So it's a complex interplay of flavors, all perfectly balanced, refreshing, yet layered with a lingering finish.
And that finish is key. In a Bucelas wine, you'll often notice a delicate saline note on the aftertaste, a subtle reminder of the Atlantic's influence. It's a beautiful touch that ties the entire experience together.
Okay, I'm sold. I need a glass of Bucelas in my hand right now. But before we wrap up, I want to revisit those red and sparkling wines we briefly mentioned earlier. What should we be looking for if we decide to venture beyond the whites?
The red wines of Bucelas, while less common, offer a fascinating glimpse into the region's versatility. They tend to be lighter-bodied, emphasizing fresh red fruit flavors like cherries and raspberries with a touch of spice. Think elegance and drinkability rather than those big, bold reds.
So they're a reflection of the region's lighter touch, a different expression of Bucelas terroir.
Exactly. And then there's the burgeoning world of Bucelas sparkling wines. They're relatively new, but already making a name for themselves.
Our sources seem particularly excited about those. What makes Bucelas a good region for sparkling wine production?
It all comes back to that star player, Arinto. Its naturally high acidity makes it ideal for crafting sparkling wines with a bright, crisp profile. Think fine bubbles, vibrant citrus notes, delicate floral aromas, a perfect choice for any celebration.
So even within a region known for its still white wines, there's room for innovation and exploration. It just shows that Bucelas is a dynamic region with a lot to offer.
Absolutely. From its ancient roots to its modern innovations, Bucelas is a testament to the enduring power of tradition, the creativity of winemakers, and the captivating allure of a region that speaks through its wines.
Well said. We've journeyed through centuries of history, explored the intricacies of terroir, and unlocked the sensory secrets of Bucelas wines. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling inspired to seek out a bottle or two and experience this unique corner of the Portuguese wine world firsthand. So until next time, cheers to the joy of discovery and the endless adventure that awaits in every glass